We are glad to host you on our special event Capitol Color Hair Show 2022. Well, today you presented your latest retrospective collection. Looking at the audience reaction, everyone was very impressed by your work and the show that you've presented. What was the inspiration behind your latest retrospective collection?
Well, firstly, I'd like to say what an honor it was to be asked to come and do the show. It was amazing. I loved it. My inspiration behind the collection was, as I mentioned during the show, there was a lot of doom and gloom during the lockdown and the pandemic. And I felt as though everybody needed a lift, and color is a big passion of mine. I've been hairdressing for, 31 years.
That's impressive.
Oh no, that's terrible. I've always, color has been a big part of my journey. And so to come and show my latest collection, retrospective, it was a look to the past, hence the name, retrospective. However, I wanted to make it current and modern and something that people would aspire to coming out of lockdown, seeing some bright color and starting to, the world opening back up again, and yeah, everybody's starting to live their lives.
That's amazing. Thank you. Well, tell me how it started. How it happened that you became a hairdresser? Like, what's the story about you becoming a stylist?
My history, my background is in artwork. So I used to paint and draw and sculpt and things when I was at college and school and college. And then for some reason I had a bad experience trying to get into a new class. And so I decided I would stop doing that, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I spoke with my mum, who is very knowledgeable. She's a very wise woman. And she said, you should write criteria. Write down what you like, what you don't like, because you need to get a job, because I'm not paying for you. Okay? So I decided, okay, I will write down what I want from my job. I had long hair because I was into rock music and art, so I didn't want to cut my hair. I didn't want to push a pen around, use a pen all day. I wanted to do something creative, and I wanted to work with women. So the main part really was the girls. I wanted to start hairdressing because it was creative. I could talk all day, and I would work with lots of pretty girls.
Oh, did you meet meet somebody?
I fortunately, very shortly after I started, my wife walked into the salon as a client of my boss, and I instantly fell in love with her.
Oh.
And I shampooed her hair. I was only a junior. I was 17, and I pushed everybody else out the way. And I pulled her over to the backwash, sat her down, shampooed, tried to make it as though it was the best shampoo ever. And 25 minutes later, she was she was crippled. So that's how I started in hairdressing. I have to thank my mum.
Yeah.
She was the one that said, why don't you try it? And she said, this is the honest truth. I don't know whether it will actually translate. But she said I had two choices. One would to be what in England we would call gigolo. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. A male escort or a hairdresser. That was absolute honest truth. She just said, well, you should do one or the other. So fortunately I chose hairdressing. I didn't think in my hometown there was much call for a male escort. So everybody needs their haircut.
So anyway, that's how you got here.
That is the truth. That is the truth.
That is an amazing story. I think all people will love it. So, work and participations in a great number of hairstyle show and events or TV productions or photography sessions or work at a hairdressing salon. Each of these activities they are very specified. And which is the most satisfying for you?
That's a very good question. I cannot make a decision between them. And the reason I can't is because it's the variation of what I do in my career that means I am still as enthusiastic as I am and how I am still in love with the industry. Because if I was just in the salon all day, I would quickly get bored. If I was doing photo shoots every day, I would quickly get bored. I just don't want to do the same thing all the time. So my clients will say to me, it must be boring. You come in and you just trim my hair. I said, well, it's not boring because it's new and it's different. You've had different experiences. I've had different experiences since we last met. That is a completely different day. And therefore, every day is new and you learn and experience different things every day within the industry, whether it's doing the hair at Miss World competition or whether it is winning a competition or doing an incredible show like this. Everything's new and therefore I can't choose. Sorry.
I understand that. So you really like all the parts of your job.
I do. I do. I wouldn't want to choose one or the other.
That's amazing. I think that's a really important part. Yeah. So which of the current trends in hairdressing are the most interesting in your opinion?
Current trends that are the most interesting. I really enjoy the fact that colour has continued to be as strong a part of the industry as it still is, and it seems as though it continues to be. I wouldn't want to pick a specific trend, but I do like the fact that we're not doing so many balayages now. I'm a bit over balayages. The launch of new products all the time is something which really helps with the creativity and giving me ideas. So the trend of new technology being introduced into color is something which is more interesting to me than a particular trend.
Great, I understand that. Yeah, great. All right. Well, during today's show, new Revlonissimo was presented. And
yes, it was.
We would love to know, what do you think about that?
I absolutely love it. I've been working with Revlon Professional from the start of 2016. So quite a while now. And the thing that sold it to me was the people, for one. Everybody that I worked with in Revlon Professional UK and all the people I met internationally, beautiful. But it was their colour which I fell in love with, because the one thing I love about Revlon Professional colour is the iridescency. It's the light diffusion through the hair when you colour. many color products will be very heavy and like blanket cover. They'll be really dark and very dense. And I like my color to be changing with the light. I like it to be versatile and more natural looking. And that's what I get from Revlon Professional. Now the new color has just gone up again. So it's now more vibrant, feels better, easier to mix. I'm normally making it lumpy, so it's easy to mix, which is great. But the color vibrancy, intensity, the shine. One of the things that I loved first of all was the shine on the color. And so now they've actually introduced, I don't know how they've done it. I don't know how you can put more shine in, but for some reason it's got more shine. And therefore I love it even more.
That's awesome.
So I know that sounds like a real advert, but I do love it, and it's been great to work with.
Oh, that's amazing. All right. Well, I am very impressed by the amount of titles and honors and awards that you have won.
Yeah.
I really. But what was the greatest achievement which you are the most proud of?
Oh, I think probably winning a world championship for live competition. So I used to compete for the OMC, Mondial Coiffure. Beauté was my first international, which was in Paris. But the OMC run competitions all over the world. And I worked for 10 years in live competition. And when I first started doing that, I was not good. I was not good. I thought I was good. I was convinced I was good, and I wasn't that good. But I am extremely competitive, and I do not like losing at all. When I was a child, if you had the Monopoly board, if somebody bought all my houses, or if I went bankrupt, I was the kid that would kick it over. So very competitive. And therefore, I was convinced that if I put enough work and enough effort into it, I could win the World Championships. And 10 years after that, I did. In 2008, I won it. So because of the amount of work I put into it, I would say that's my greatest achievement.
That's incredible. It's an amazing story. Yeah, would you like to let us know about your maybe unfulfilled dreams or in your professional area?
So when I finished competing in live competition, which was around 2010, I then moved to photographic work. Started doing more work with magazines and creating images, collections for hair awards across the world. The International Hairdressing Awards, the British Hairdressing Awards, of course. I would say that because I made that switch, I would like to be nominated for British Hairdresser of the Year. I don't know whether it'll ever happen, but I'm working hard to try and achieve it.
I'm sure
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
I'm sure if you work hard enough, you will get it.
Yeah. If I put my mind to it, then I can achieve. I feel I can achieve what I want. So, maybe in the future. Who knows?
Well, my unfortunately latest question is, where would you like to be or like see yourself? Where would you see yourself in 5 years?
Wow, another good question. I think I would like to be working slightly less in the salon, because I still work 5 days when I'm not doing shows and things like that. or traveling for education with Revlon and things like that, then I'll be in the salon 5 days a week. So I'm still there a lot, and because I work a lot in the salon, because I've got some great clients, it means that it does reduce the amount of time that I can give to producing shows like we have today.
Oh, yeah.
And I would like to be working slightly less so I can have maybe more flexibility and more variation than I have now.
That's amazing. I hope you'll get there.
So I'm still doing it. I don't want to give up hair or anything like that. I would probably be 100 and never give up hair.
That's
because
amazing.
It's just what I do.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Well, today we hosted many hairdressers, including young hairdressers who are just entering their professional career. What words would you like to address to young people, to those young people who dream of being a hairdresser? Well, do you have any great hints, maybe, for young hairdressers or people who have just started their dream?
Well, I mean, if I was speaking to myself when I first started, I would actually say have more patience than I had, because more often than not, when you're young, you want everything straight away, and you want everything that you see. You want all your dreams and all your hopes. You want them right now. Well, it takes a hell of a long time to get them. It takes a lot of hard work. So just have patience, work really hard, and enjoy what you're doing. And you will get everything that you want.
That's amazing. Thank you very much for this conversation, and we wish you success in the fulfillment of your personal and professional dreams.
Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.